cabbie in the corner.
In the October of 2020, a 25-year-old woman was rescued in Nizamabad, Telangana from getting converted into a Jogini. Jogini, a vicious practice of religious sexual slavery that exploits the woman from the marginalized Dalit and backward caste communities. This is the story of the many women who are sexually exploited by the people in power. This is the story of the Joginis, the God's wife. Hello everyone, and thank you so much for tuning in. I really hope that you all are enjoying the stories we are bringing to you. For today's episode, I have the story about the Joginis, a system that prevails in Telangana.
I'm your host Amla, and you're listening to Crime Time Podcast.
On October 21st, 2020, the Bohdan Tahsildar Muhammad Ghaffar received a tip-off from activists about a woman being converted into a Jogini by her mother. The RDO and the police officials quickly responded and they could stop it on time. The woman was rescued and brought into a temporary shelter home. Soon enough, the mother of the victim was also brought in and both were counseled. The activists and the police officials made it clear to the mother that her daughter would only be released if she no longer plans to convert her into a Jogini. After a lot of persuasion, even from her own community, she agreed. After 10 days of the rescue operation, the woman was married off to a man from their own community in the presence of the activists and the police team. The mother was also formerly a Jogini. She is survived by 2 children, the daughter and a son with disabilities. She decided to convert her daughter into a Jogini so that she won't marry someone else and leave the house. Rather, she would stay at home and can look after and feed their family. This rescue story brought into light the century-old practice once again. The Jogini system, as known in Karnataka, Matangi in Maharashtra, Devar Adigalar in Tamil Nadu, or Devdasi, the more common term, is the practice of dedicating a girl to the service of the deity. In the early times, which dates back to as early as 6th century, Devdasi were a professional matriarchal and traditional community that act as the temple caretaker and performed all rituals like dance and music in the honor of the deity. They were regarded a high-class status in the society and were considered auspicious. It was after the intervention of the Mughals and Britishers that they were exploited and degraded. This system still prevails. It prevails the most in the southern part of India. The Jogini system in Telangana is one such state in India. Girls as young as 5 years old are dressed up as a bride and married off to the god. The ceremony involves girls being seated in front of the local god, dressed in a green sari, green bangles, toe rings and a waistband. There is a bowl placed next to the girls which has coconut and a face mask. The girl is tied Muttu pearl necklace by 5 older Devdasis around her neck. They then whisper the sacred rules of being a Jogini in her ears. She then becomes a Jogini and becomes the property of the village. She now has no control over her own body. Anyone can come and sexually abuse her. She's not allowed to say no, neither can she ask money for the service. She is forced to offer her body for the men. If she gets pregnant, she is to give birth, but not name the father. And she cannot ever marry again. Many a times the families give away the daughter as a Jogini with the belief that it will keep epidemics away to ensure good health for the villagers or sometimes for good rainfall. Some families do so because of poverty and to earn an income. This system still prevails because of the superstitious beliefs, poverty and illiteracy. The Joginis also fall prey to the human traffickers. They are abducted and sold off as prostitutes to other parts in India. This practice was banned by the government of Andhra Pradesh in 1998. In 2010, a one-man commission formed by the Andhra Pradesh offered recommendations of rehabilitating the women, giving them free medical aid, 2 acres of fertile land, and support fund. These were only words, as it has not been implemented, and the women still suffer. There have then been protests by the Joginis demanding pension in the single woman category, and after decades of fighting, they were allowed a pension of 2000 rupees, for which again they have to struggle for to get every month. There have been a lot of schemes and promises made, but that is all it is, a promise that never gets executed. Operation Mercy India Foundation is one organization that dedicatedly works for the women. They help the former Joginis and the children of Joginis. The organization works across 250 villages covering 5 districts where the system prevails. Even after being rescued, their hardship is not over, as the society never accepts them and the title Jogini never leaves them. The stories and rituals of Devdasis differs according to the place. The traditions are different in different states, but the purpose of the Devdasi is the same: to be the wife and slave of God. A life forced upon a woman for the better of those with power, and then being harassed and discriminated for doing what they were forced for. This is the life of many women across India.
Make sure to check out our Instagram page, Crime Time Podcast, and follow us. I'll be back with a new episode very soon.